Hi, my name is Benjamin Lee, and I just want to welcome everyone. It is now 1 p.m., so we'll begin our presentation shortly. Today, on October 26th, we'll have our presentation on Planning for Shale Development, Booms, Busts, and Beyond. For help during today's webcast, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box found in the webinar toolbar to the right of your screen or call 1-800-263-6317. For content questions, please feel free to type those in the questions box, and we'll be able to answer those during the presentation and after the presentation. Here's a list of sponsoring chapters, divisions, and universities. I would like to thank all of the participating chapters, divisions, and universities for making these webcasts possible. These are the list of upcoming webcasts. To register for these upcoming webcasts, please visit utahaapa.org webcast and register for your webcast of choice. We're now offering distance education webcasts to help you get your ethics or law credits before the end of the year. These webcasts are available to view at utahaapa.org webcast archive. To log your distance education CM credits, go to planning.org/CM. Select activities by provider, select APA Ohio chapter, then select distance education and select your webcast of choice. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and please subscribe us on YouTube. To log your CM credits for attending today's webcast, please go to planning.org/CM, select today's date, October 26th, and then select today's webcast. This webcast is available for 1.5 CM credit. We are recording today's webcast, and it will be available along with a 6-slide per page PDF of the presentation at utahaapa.org webcast archive and also on YouTube. At this time, I would like to introduce Sorel Negro, who will be introducing our moderators for today. Sorel? We're having some technical difficulties. We'll be back shortly.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. We are ready to go. Thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry for the issue. And everyone can see the PowerPoint, so we are all set. As Ben mentioned, my name is Sorel Negro. I'm a lawyer with Robinson & Cole in Hartford, Connecticut, and I focus on land use, real estate, and environmental matters. I'll be moderating today, and I'll begin by introducing our 5 panelists First, we have Erica Levine Powers, a land use and environmental lawyer and adjunct faculty member in the Master's in Regional Planning program in the Department of Geography and Planning at the University of Albany. We also have Fred Jarman, the Director of Building and Planning for Garfield County, Colorado, which is the second most active county in Colorado in terms of natural gas permitting, exploration, and production. In addition, we have Megan Thoreau, a planner who has worked as the town planner in Pinedale, Wyoming, where she built the first planning and zoning department in this western boomtown. She also has experience as a planner in the Southern Tier in New York, and she currently resides in Brookings, South Dakota. Next, we have Colin Gregory, a gas well coordinator for the city of Arlington, Texas, which currently has over 300 gas wells. Colin performs gas well site inspections and technical analyses to ensure compliance with the gas well ordinance, which he wrote. He is also a liaison between the city and gas well operators, developers, contractors, and the general public. Last but not least, we have Earl Phillips, a partner with Robinson & Cole and chair of the firm's Environmental and Utilities Practice Group. Earl has practiced environmental and natural resource law and worked on related energy projects for more than 30 years. In this webinar, the panelists will discuss natural gas development generally, positive and negative effects on communities from natural gas development, how drilling is regulated, examples of local governmental regulations, and the role of planners in preparing for shale development. I want to note that although we are focusing on natural gas, the title of our webinar is Planning for Shale Development because many of the effects on communities that occur as a result of exploration and production of shale apply to oil as well as natural gas development. I'm delighted that we have panelists from a variety of states and regions. As you'll hear, the roles of planners vary significantly from state to state. For example, in some states, county planners have significant authority. In other states, municipal planners have authority. Certain states have county or municipal planners that don't have any authority, but they provide guidance and educate. You'll hear more about how local governmental authority varies among states and what implications that may have for planners. But keep in mind that our panelists, as well as our audience, come from a variety of states, and the legal framework and the role of planners greatly depends on where you are. Let's get started. Erica, can you give us an overview of what shale development is and where it's occurring in the U.S.?
Yes. Shale plays are geologic deposits that are deep underground, and they're found in approximately 20 states in the continental United States, from Montana south to Texas, across the Southwest, the South, the Southeast, in the Midwest, including North Dakota and Michigan, and in a northeast direction from Indiana and Ohio to New York and Canada. People in the east are very much aware of the Marcellus Shale at the moment, which is not being explored in New York State. The Utica Shale, which underlies it, goes all the way up into Canada. The Barnett Shale, which is under Dallas and Fort Worth, is under a heavily residential and commercially developed area, and so zoning is being used in that area to control and regulate how shale is developed. Shale plays can be under public lands. They can be under more than one state. For example, the Haynesville, which is down in Louisiana and Arkansas and Texas. So you have a lot of jurisdictional issues. Next slide, please. High-volume hydraulic fracturing for natural gas, which is also called fracking, is a relatively new technology for exploration and development of unconventional sources of natural gas, especially the gas that's trapped in the crevices of shale. This is different from putting a straw down and bringing up a pocket of gas. And so it's a very complex industry. There are networks of specialized companies. When you have a chance to look at the slides, you will find that there are contractors and subcontractors and some subcontractors, and that in the development phase organization chart, there is a tremendous amount of activity during the development phase. What this chart doesn't show is that at the very beginning, before you develop a shale play, companies have to figure out where the plays might be, and then they cannot, even with the best of GIS, predict which lands they're under. So people called landmen go around seeking leases for as much area as possible, under which leases of mineral rights, under which they can explore for natural gas. Shale gas is a transitional, next slide please, a transitional resource. It's a depleting resource, not like solar or wind or other renewables, but it's considered cleaner than other fossil fuels, and it can be regarded as an important transitional fuel in furtherance of national goals of energy independence, air quality, and climate change mitigation, although there are environmental risks. So the first thing to understand is the drilling process. On the far right of the slide is just an ordinary vertical directional well. On the far left of the same slide is the same vertical drill that then makes a right turn and goes horizontally. And you see some things that look like capillaries, and those are enlarged to show what the fracturing process looks like. An electronic charge is put into the casing of cement and steel. It permeates the casing. It goes out into the shale, and then massive amounts of water, like up to 9 million gallons, are pumped at very high pressure, mixed with chemicals and proppants like sand to keep the crevices open so that the gas can be released, and then the gas works its way backward along the lateral and up the vertical. Now we're going to take a very quick look at aquifer protection. Next slide, please. Once again, you have, and the diagram very clearly is vertically distorted. You have a well, it goes through an aquifer, and then way miles below, it hits productive formations. Now this looks, and in the next slide, you will see it even more clearly, please. This looks like a layer cake you just cut through. But actually, depending on the geologic formation, some shale plays are at angles. Some of them may start above ground and then go down miles and miles on an angle. So it's not quite as pretty a science as these pictures are, but they're good slides. To protect the aquifer, which you see in the layer that's kind of cream colored, you have to put a cement surface casing, and that has two purposes, one of which is to protect the aquifer from the shale, the gas that's being released from the shale, but also it's designed to try to keep the path of gas intact, that the cement casing does not allow gas from other wells to migrate. And in a place like New York State,